Welcome back to John Bachman Now. Bernie Madoff, the mastermind behind the world's biggest ever Ponzi scheme, died in federal prison this week at 82 years old. The notorious architect of the largest investment fraud in Wall Street history was serving a 150-year sentence at the Federal Medical Center in Butner, North Carolina. One of his lawyers says it is believed that Madoff died from natural causes related to his failing health. In 2009, Madoff pleaded guilty after cheating thousands of people out of up to $65 billion. And where did all that money go? Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about the current state of affairs with our economy. Are we ripe for another Ponzi scheme type situation? There's a lot of money out there these days. Let's talk about this with our panel of financial experts and welcome in the president of Zuma Global, Heather Zumarraga, author of A Man's Guide to a Corporate Culture, and Seth Denson back with us as well, business and market analyst, author of The Cure, a blueprint for solving America's health care crisis. Heather, Seth, great to see you both. Bernie Madoff, he is dead. Ding dong, the Ponzi schemer is dead. You know, it's always sad when somebody dies. I'm sure it's sad for somebody here, but gosh, Heather, the destruction that Bernie Madoff was able to do to the financial markets, I mean, are we really able to kind of get our arms around how big of a deal this was, even at this point?
Well, that's a really good question. I mean, you can think, I'm speaking to the media here when I say ABC had a miniseries. I think HBO had a movie on him. So I think for future generations that didn't live through this, when he was convicted in 2008, he pled guilty, I guess, in March of 2009, or in December of 2008, he was arrested. Madoff himself had thought he'd eventually, and this is in the beginning, and who knows when the true beginning was, but he had been managing money since the 70s. He said that the Ponzi scheme started in the 90s. He himself said that when he began the Ponzi scheme, he believed it would end shortly, and he would be able to, I guess, redeem himself with his clients and get his money back. But then the longer it went on, he started thinking, he realized to that day that eventually his arrest would come. Yeah. So he did figure it out, but how much money did he steal? The court showed about $17 billion, which just blows my mind. I wouldn't even know how to spend $1 million. But it says he stole about $17 billion from 37,000 victims, but we really don't know.
I was reading a New York Post article yesterday that said Ruth Madoff, his wife, right before he was busted, was spending $57,000 a month. I mean, that could help Heather, you know, spend $1 million. It makes it possible to think about that. But Seth, you know, some people compare the modern economy we have today, where you have the Fed printing money all the time with nothing really backing it, to a Ponzi scheme. What do you think about that?
We don't have to look so far as Social Security to recognize that we kind of have a legal Ponzi going on there. I mean, we're using today's investment dollars to pay for investment and financial dollars and even Medicare and some of these other things. So yeah, I understand the concern here. To Heather's point, I think Bernie started off, you know, I comes to mind, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practiced to deceive, right? Mm-hmm. And I think what that did, it permanently damaged the reputation of the investment community. I mean, this thing was going on really from the 90s. There were whistleblowers back then, but there were a lot of people making money off of this. You know, it's been said that even J.P. Morgan was making so much off financial transactions that they just kind of looked the other way and really didn't dive into this. But yeah, listen, the SEC reports that there are 65 Ponzi schemes going on every year that they catch, generating about $2.5 billion in losses. So unfortunately, this is still something that's going on regularly today.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme. This is what it is. It's when you take the new investments and pay off your old investors with that, and that's what Madoff was doing. And Heather, it was kind of the perfect crime because nobody would suspect this guy, Madoff, who was also once, right, the former NASDAQ chairman. He had such a good reputation here. Nobody thought that he could actually do something like this.
No, but he could. And I think the difference today, it's not that there can't possibly be more bad actors like Seth alluded to. Of course, there can always be bad actors and people continue to commit fraudulent financial crime. The main difference, though, is that I think the SEC has become a lot more stronger and efficient and competent in terms of the people that they hire. Look, in the 70s, he was one of the first people to trade equities on a computer screen, to have the charts pop up on the screens. I mean, and now we're all using Zoom and online learning.
Oh yeah,
from our homes.
I'm on Wall Street Bets right now. I'm buying my doggy coin and I'm getting my NFT ready to go, guys. Like I said,
right, buying Coinbase. The SEC, I think, is a lot different than it was back then, post 2008.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope there were lessons learned from what happened with Bernie Madoff. So much devastation, and I remember reading about the stories of people's, mom and pop shops who lost everything as a result of this. Heather, Seth, great to see you both. Look forward to next week.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
All right, let's